Do you think cryptocurrencies can overtake the US dollar? And what are the edges on crypto on dollar, do you think? Yeah. So I think that, and I made a course on Udemy called the Complete Cryptocurrency Course. It's 24 hours long, and I poured my heart into it. And I hired people to help me out that were so good that the NSA showed up at my house one day. It's a true story. Because they were doing a background check on one of the people that I worked with. And they never said why, but it's probably because they were looking to hire one of those people. But I did such deep research on this. And you can always do a search on YouTube on cryptocurrency course. I make the first 6 hours free. And I figured out, by the way, how to come first in YouTube search rankings. So whatever country you're in, it doesn't matter. If you type up cryptocurrency course, I'll come up first. If somebody advertises, they'll be above me there. But I figured out the algorithm. And I also have a course called the Complete YouTube Course where I teach you how to do that. But when I first started making the cryptocurrency course, I was 7 out of 10 bullish or positive on the cryptocurrency market. And by the way, whenever somebody says bullish, that means they're positive. And bearish, it means they're negative. So I was a 7 out of 10. It's the best bookends ever. Although these here are the most Canadian bookends ever. But when I started making that course, I was 7 out of 10 bullish on cryptocurrencies, positive. And by the end of it, and it's 24 hours long, it took me 6 months of my life, but I enjoyed it. By the end of it, I was a 3 out of 10. And I realized that most cryptocurrencies are an absolute scam. But there are a handful of cryptocurrencies that I think are decent investments. Always do your own research, please. But in the interest of fair disclosure, I'll tell you what I own, and I'll never sell. Bitcoin, Ethereum or Ether, ETH, which is on the Ethereum platform, Ripple, and Litecoin, which is like Bitcoin's little brother or little sister. You got to make sure that you understand what the implications are, though, in terms of supply. Like the problem with the US dollar and all fiat, meaning paper-based currencies, is that there is no limit on how much they can make. And what happened was around 1980, there was high inflation, meaning the price of everything was going up too fast. And the only way to stop prices going up a lot is to massively raise interest rates. And so what happened was in America was really worried about inflation in 1980. And so Volcker called up Helmut Kohl and his buddies in Germany, and under their tutelage, he learned about how to control inflation. And the way you control inflation is by raising interest rates a lot. You kind of change the amount of money that's out there in the marketplace. And so cash is probably the worst investment you can possibly make. This here is a coin I bought in Jerusalem from the year 30 AD. And it's got Pontius Pilate on one side. It was in circulation when Jesus was alive, my biggest hero ever. You're thinking, Chris, that must cost a lot of money. It doesn't. It doesn't. It costs next to nothing. Why does this cost next to nothing? And why is it that Roman Empire-based coins cost next to nothing? Because the Roman Empire failed because they printed too much of this stuff. They made too many of these things. Oops. And in all excavations in Israel, they're always uncovering more and more of this stuff. You can get this for really cheap. It's amazing. They made too much of it. And so governments can dilute your net worth by making more of this stuff. You know, history does repeat itself. They've done this over and over again. And I think the worst investment you can possibly make is keeping your money in cash. And you can take my MBA degree program and I can teach you how to diversify your assets and do deep due diligence and research on companies so you can preserve your wealth and hopefully grow it longer term as well. But the worst investment you can possibly make is cash. So cryptocurrencies, they kind of became popular in early 2009 when this person or entity called Satoshi Nakamoto, maybe, we don't know if it's that person, but that person might have created Bitcoin. And Bitcoin was created because of this, because of the fact that It's not fair that governments can dilute us. Like the Zimbabwe dollar daily inflation rate in late 2008 was 98%. That means that every day, the money that you have, it's tragic, in Zimbabwe, was getting cut in half. So it's out of our control in terms of how much money can be made by governments. It's not fair. And this is why cryptocurrencies exist.